Mildred Hanks fashioned herself an attractive woman. Standing at just a tad over 6 foot, her slender, almost underweight figure was always adorned in designer dresses and business suits. Her longer-than-normal feet always displayed in spiked boots, normally black. She had a tendency to wear an overabundance of makeup and gaudy jewelry that did absolutely nothing to enhance her short, dyed red hair. She had a habit of frequenting the local tanning salon, to the point where her skin had taken on somewhat of a bronze, leathery appearance. The word around Townsend and Maryville was that she had gone through 3 husbands, all of whom had left her. Apparently no man could stand to live with her. She was widely known in and around Blount County as a career woman, a 56-year-old questionable diva who drove back and forth through the surrounding counties in her jet-black Thunderbird convertible. She had been employed by the Tri-County Real Estate Company for 18 years and held the distinction of being their best salesperson, year in, year out. Her trademark in the local real estate market was that she always sported a long white silk scarf. She was quite involved, especially in the Maryville area. She was a member of a fiction book club, an active member of the Blount County Gardeners, and was president of Women in Business, a local women's organization. Many of the local women, especially other career women, were pushing her to run for public office. She knew everyone who held any importance, was very well connected with business owners, and was known as a tough woman, a woman who wouldn't take any crap from anyone. She had the perfect personality to become a politician. It was late Friday morning, Mildred looking forward to a long, relaxing weekend. It was June, not a great month for selling real estate in the Smoky Mountains region. The month was practically over, and the tote board in Tri-County's office displayed a big fat 0 next to her name. She had experienced bad months in the past, but this was the worst in some time. She was taking a few days off in order to regroup. She had slept in, something she normally did not do, fixed herself a breakfast of eggs Benedict, a peach yogurt, and to top things off, a Bloody Mary in a tall glass. Later on in the afternoon, she was planning on driving over to the Laurel Hills Country Club in Townsend to lounge leisurely by the pool and hobnob with some of Blount County's wealthier residents. Dressed in bright pink, skin-tight pants, a pale pink cashmere sweater, and white fur-lined heeled slippers, she lit up a cigarette and walked from the kitchen to her spacious living room. Picking up a multiple listing guide, which she intended to take with her to the pool, she was interrupted by the ringing of the phone on the round Italian marble table next to the couch. Picking up the receiver, she answered, "Hello." The man's voice on the other end of the line responded, "Good morning. Is this the Hanks residence?" "Yes, it is. Who may I ask is calling?" "My name is Owen Webb. I'm calling for Mildred Hanks. I'm new in the area, and I'm looking for a 3-bedroom log home. An acquaintance of mine told me that she is the best real estate agent in the Smoky Mountains region." Mildred smiled, taking a long drag on her cigarette. "You're speaking to Mildred, and you have called the right person. It just so happens at the current time I have 2 log homes listed. Only one of them is a 3-bedroom. Are you set on 3 bedrooms, or could you live with 2? "Depending on where the home is," said Owen, "and how it is set up, I might be able to get by with 2 bedrooms. I'm single. I need a master bedroom, then an extra for guests. The 3rd bedroom is going to be utilized for office space. If there is enough room someplace else in the home, I suppose I could get by with 2. "What price range are we looking at?" "Price is not an issue with me. If I find what I want, I'll write a check. I'm rather picky about the home where I live. That's why I wanted to contact a no-nonsense agent, according to my friend. That's you." Always interested in referrals, Mildred inquired, "What is your friend's name? I never forget a past client." "Carlos Mendoza is his name," answered Owen. Mildred, looking toward the ceiling, made a confused face, commenting, "I don't recall ever selling a home to a Mendoza family." Owen corrected her. You didn't sell the home to Carlos. A few years ago, one of his friends was a client of yours. I can't remember the name, but Carlos told me that she was very happy with the job you did for her. Besides that, I've seen your for sale signs in a number of front yards. Listen, do you think we could connect today? I'm really itching to get settled in.
Well, I wasn't planning on working this weekend. I was just going to drive over to the country club and spend the afternoon. But a good agent, as they say, is always on duty. What would be convenient for you?
I'd hate to ruin your weekend, but I really want to get moving on this. Would it be possible for us to meet today? Before Mildred could respond, Owen explained. I thought that maybe we could knock out two birds with one stone. I also heard from time to time you have fox terrier pups for sale. I had a fox terrier when I was a young boy growing up. He was a great pet. I've always wanted to get another one, but with my moving around, I just thought it wouldn't be fair to the dog. Now that I'm ready to settle down, I think I'd like to get one. There was silence on the line for a moment. Then Owen asked, Would you happen to have any available pups at this time? Mildred walked to her couch and sat, flicking the ashes from her cigarette into a black onyx ashtray. She answered, It must be your lucky day. I just got a new litter 8 weeks ago. I've got 4 males and 2 females. What did you have in mind? I'm looking for a male. Mildred perked up at the prospect of selling a pup, especially to a potential real estate client who said he was ready to write a check if she could find him the right house. Apparently money was not a problem for Owen Webb. Mr. Webb, my terriers are the best in the state, and because of that they are not cheap. I normally sell them for $800. However, if we can come to an agreement on a property, I might be able to work out a deal, a win-win situation for both of us. Sounds good, said Owen. How about if we hook up later? Maybe I could drop by your home and see the pups. I'm really anxious to get one. Yes, I think we can get together today. Where would you be coming from? Gatlinburg. I'm currently staying over in Gatlinburg. All right. What say we meet at my home in about 2 hours? Would that suit you? Yes, it would. Now, how do I get to your place? Mildred thought for a brief moment, then gave directions. Take Route 73 out of Gatlinburg until you come to Townsend, where you'll take a right onto the Lamar-Alexander Parkway. Go through town and continue going toward Maryville. About 5 miles on the right, you'll see a road called Cold Spring. Take a right and go for about a half a mile until you get to Old Chilhowie Road. Go right, and about a quarter of a mile down you'll see my place. You can't miss it. It's kind of out of the way. It was a big white house with 4 pillars in front and a large stone 3-tier fountain in the center of a circular drive. If you get lost, you have my number. I think I'll be able to locate you. Thank you for taking the time to see me today. I'm sure there are other things you'd much rather be doing. It's my pleasure, Mr. Webb. I'm looking forward to meeting you. See you when you get here. I'm heading out the door when I hang up. See you in a few. Hanging up the phone, Mildred stubbed out her smoke, sat back on the couch and smiled, then stood, realized she needed to get moving. Aside from fixing her hair and making herself a little more presentable, she had to go out back and get the pups, clean them up, and get the kitchen blocked off where she would place them. Maybe if she had some time before Mr. Webb arrived, she'd make some iced tea. Between the possible sale of one of the pups and a log home, this could turn out to be a very profitable weekend. She wondered who it was that told him about her dogs. It really didn't matter. A sale was a sale. Walking through a back porch area, she grabbed a long white smock and a pair of rubber boots. She kicked off her slippers and donned the boots and the coat. Proceeding across her large backyard down a cobblestone pathway flanked by short dwarf pines, she entered a secluded wooded area, then a barn that had seen its better days. Once inside the old building, she wrinkled her nose at the smell of old urine and waste matter as she placed a protective mask over her mouth and nose and slipped on a pair of plastic gloves. A number of dogs in wire cages began to bark when she walked toward the rear of the barn. "Shut the hell up!" The dogs went quiet. They knew of the violence they would suffer for not obeying. In a corner stall, she approached a wire cage on the ground where 6 small pups cuddled up next to each other. She kicked a half-empty water bowl out of the way, bent down and opened the cage door. Picking up the pups roughly, she examined each one, tossing the females to the side like they were worthless. One of the 4 males had a severe rash on its stomach. Pushing him to the side, she commented, "Well, you're not worth a crap." She took the remaining 3 males and walked back to the front of the barn, where she placed them in a round metal tub. Next, she dumped a bucket of cold water over the pups, and then lathered them up with some household soap. Minutes later, after rubbing the soapy solution over the pups, she dried them off with a hairdryer that was hanging next to the barn door. Placing them inside a cage, she returned to the house and placed the 3 pups on the kitchen floor, which was barricaded by a 1x6 that she leaned across the doorway. She placed a nice, comfortable rug, dish of cold water, and some dog toys on the floor for looks, then went to the large downstairs bath, where she ran a brush through her hair and spritzed a shot of her favorite perfume lightly across her body. Looking at the walnut grandfather clock next to the fireplace, she thought that she had time to whip up some iced tea.